All right, guys. Well, welcome. I'm really excited to be getting started. I hope everybody is having a great week this week. It's been a very chaotic past couple of days for a lot of people, especially people living on the East Coast. And so if you're joining us tonight, welcome. Excited to talk about something positive in business and some really great opportunities for you guys. So, welcome. All right, so this week we are going to be talking all about possibility cultivating for website prospects with the Web Center program, which is really exciting because we have some traditional ways that we build a names list for our business and for our website possibilities. But I'm going to talk specifically about 9 different ideas for ways to expand your network. And I'm going to get really specific with that in a little bit. So, just a few quick reminders before we get started. This is a weekly webinar, and every single week we are delving into different topics and expanding on different areas of the Web Center program. All of the previous webinars that have been recorded, the previous 9 that we've done, have been uploaded to mawc411.com. What you want to do is click on training and support and scroll down to webinars, and then you can view any of the webinars that have been done. And I think some of them even have the presentations uploaded as well. So that's really a great follow-up resource, and it's a great prospecting tool. So there's different topics, and actually the topics and the outline of each topic is listed next to the recorded webinar. So if you have a new prospect or a new Web Center owner in your group or a new intern that you're working with, a great thing to do is take them to this webinars page and run them through the overview of the Web Center program webinar or succeeding with simple sales or whatever. So you can go there to go ahead and watch this webinar as early as tomorrow. Next week, we're going to be talking about how to run a 90-day fast track. Currently, the 90-day fast track that I'm running we are in our 10th week of running the fast track. We've already sold over 100 websites. We've already sponsored over 300 new distributors and also done over $200,000 in other MA branded products. 94 new pin levels. I mean, guys, the results have been insane. And the real reason that the results have been so huge for the fast trackers is because the program is simple. It's about creating positive habits for your Web Center business and for your Market America business in general. So, and it's duplicatable, it's easy to follow, it's not complicated, and that's why the adoption has been so great for the 90-day fast track. I'm really excited about the results. And guys, all of those results I just kind of, rolled off. We're done with about 200 people. So people are seeing significant results individually. It's not just, 1,000 people did it and we sold 100 websites. I mean, it's really great. So next week, I'm going to be going over how to run your own 90-day fast track as a Web Center owner, how to organize and structure one, how do you actually do it, what is the goal and the purpose behind it. How do you coach and support people that are going to run on the fast track with you? All of the details behind actually running your own. So that'll be really exciting. This week, we're going to talk all about expanding your names list for Web Center clients. So we're going to specifically only talk about website possibilities. So we're only going to be touching base on the retailing part of the basic 5, okay, with the Web Center program. So we'll go over the starting point for your names list and positioning and how the approaching needs to happen and the difference between the 2 different major ways that we approach website customers. Then we're going to get into more specific ideas for building out your names list. We're going to talk about personal branding. We're going to talk about leveraging your professional contacts and running referral campaigns, about networking events. And I'm going to give you specific networking events to try and why you should try them. Talk about how to spread out your spending, about how to go through and identify prospects with an actual need, how to identify prospects with an advertising plan and why is that important, how to leverage Facebook a little bit better, how to build value with all of these new prospects by being interested in them and not being interesting. And I'll get real specific about what that means later. Actually, Lisa Koska said that in I just think that she nailed it on the head. Being interested versus being interesting is huge, and it's going to be a game changer for a lot of people, not only with the Web Center program, but with business in general. So I'm excited to talk about that. So, where do we start? Well, when we're cultivating possibilities, when we're thinking about potential website customers, what do? we build a names list, right? We build our starting point names list. The starting point is, who do you know that owns a business, right? Who do you know that might work for a small to medium sized business? Like, who's a waitress? Who's a dental hygienist? Do you know any people that work at a law firm? Anybody that works for a construction company? Those kinds of people. Who do you actually do business with? What restaurants do you frequent? Do you have an attorney? Do you have an accountant? Do you have a landscaper? Those kinds of things. Where do you buy your products and services from? Who do you know who's well connected? And then, of course, the follow up column, right? This is where we start. And we already got into detail with this when we're talking about in other webinars about succeeding with simple sales and also about the networking approaches, right? So I'm not going to get real specific about this because I'm going to assume for the purpose of this webinar that you already have done this, right? The point of this webinar and the goal is to constantly be filling that names list up, right, with new possibilities. So you do this by meeting new people and cultivating new relationships. So the goal behind, expanding your names list is not to delve into some crazy process or some cold calling process or something that has nothing to do with what you already know and what you already do. The point behind tonight's webinar is, how do you keep adding people to these columns? How do you keep these names lists growing so that you're constantly meeting new business owners? You're constantly meeting new people that work at small businesses, or you're constantly trying out new restaurants or new places that you will do business with, or you're meeting and leveraging professional contacts. Does that make sense? And why are we talking about that? Why are we straying away from some of these other tactics for meeting new business, for sales, like cold calling? Well, we shy away from that because this way has a better success rate for yourself, for the amount of contacts that you make that land to appointments that end with sales. The ratio of success for meeting new people, that initial contact, and turning them over into an appointment and having that appointment end with a successful result like a sale or a new referral is a lot higher when you put stock in the relationship, when you build a solid foundation, that in a strong business relationship. That is why we do it this way. And you build better quality business relationships. So why is that important? Well, number one, quality business relationships are long-term relationships, right? That's what you want. With the Web Center program and with web centers in general, we don't make our customers sign yearly or biannual contracts. We auto debit them on a month-to-month basis. Our customers can call in at any time and cancel their service with us. And you know what, you guys? Out of about 200 websites that I've sold, I can count on one hand how many of my customers have canceled their website. And I could tell you why they canceled their websites. They were for great reasons, like their business closed or they sold their business. One was a band that broke up. You know what I mean? Those are very good reasons to cancel your website. And the reason I have such a high retention rate is because I have quality business relationships with the people I do business with. And it's because I don't treat them like a number. I didn't open up the yellow pages and pick up the phone and shoot down every person that I read, not caring about who was on the other end of the phone, right? I took the time to cultivate relationships, and that's why I have such a strong and large customer base. The second reason why we do this is because strong quality business relationships is what leads to referrals, right? You're not going to get referrals from your customers unless they want to refer you. And what makes them want to refer you? Well, they need to be happy and satisfied, and they need to be trusting of you that you're going to do a good job. And by you doing a good job, I simply just mean leveraging the system. I'm not saying that you need to do all of the little, parts of the building and the SEO or whatever. I'm just saying that strong relationships and you teaching them how to use the resources and you teaching them about what you do and showing interest in their business, that is what leads to better, longer relationships and more quality referrals. So, before we get started, a lot of what we're talking about tonight is going to deal with people that are using the networking approach, right? So, just a quick recap. If you're doing simple sales, what you're basically, the difference between simple sales and networking sales is really just positioning. If you're doing simple sales, you still use the product specialist to sell the websites for you, right? And the positioning for that is you're using a referral approach, right? You're not claiming to be an expert. You're simply just, when you come across a restaurant that you eat at, or your friend that owns a hair salon, you simply just make a strong referral by saying, obviously this isn't something I specialize in, but I work with a great company, and they have an entire department and division that specializes in helping businesses like yours leverage the internet. It sounds like you really are looking for a better solution than what you have. I can get you an appointment if you'd like. What works best for you, mornings or afternoons, right? That's simple sales in a nutshell. Now, with simple sales, a lot of the ideas that I'm going to go through today, it may be a little bit intense for somebody using simple sales. Simple sales is meant to work into your daily routine. And for people that are just getting started, they're for people that don't specialize or major in web centers. The networking approach are for people that take ownership of the web center program. They major in web centers. They're still leveraging the system by all means. They're still leveraging product specialists to sell websites, and leveraging design center and tech support and everybody, but they use a more direct approach, right? They have an intent. They still work with all of the different columns of the names list, but basically the networking approach are for people that specialize, right? A lot of the things that I'm going to go through tonight don't really apply for people that don't specialize in web centers. So this is for people that use networking. All right. So the goal behind tonight is to constantly be filling your names list up with new possibilities. You do this by meeting new people and cultivating a relationship, just to be clear. Great. So the first thing that I want everybody to do is consider this. Consider your own personal branding, right? Your personal branding as a web center owner. You need to treat your business like a business, right? If you're using the networking approach, then you are saying that you either own a small, I say this, hi, my name's Sarah Rose Stack. I own a local web development company. I work directly with MA Web Centers. We help small to medium-sized businesses leverage the internet. That is my answer to what I do, right? So if you're using the networking approach and you are going to work on your own personal branding, which really, really is important before you can do any of these other things, you need to treat your business like a business. You need to have business cards. You need to consider having a business Facebook page, which is separate from your personal page. You need to have a strong answer to what you do as it relates to the Web Center program, right? When somebody asks me what I do, I have different answers for that. If I'm talking to somebody about shop.com, I tell them my shop.com, my Market America, what is it answer. And sometimes I'll expand on that answer and I'll say, actually within shop and within Market America, I specialize in web centers. And what we do is we help small to medium-sized businesses leverage the internet. Now that is an answer I can give to a Market America prospect. Now, when you're working with website prospects, you don't want to give that answer because that answer is very confusing. People hear that and they don't know how to digest it. It's too much information. And usually it's just too long-winded, right? So your answer to what is it needs to be simple, easy to understand, and strong. You need to believe it. You need to really, really at your core believe your answer to what is it, otherwise you won't communicate it well. So like I said, when people say, well, what do you do? And it's a website prospect or it's someone I'm doing business with and I want to prospect them for a website, I say my name's Sarah Rose Stack, or I don't say my name as they already know it, but I'll just say, basically, I own a local web development company. I work directly with MA Web Centers. It's a great product that we use, and we help small to medium-sized businesses leverage the internet. It's a really, really simple answer. And I do a couple of things. I establish myself as a local business owner, which is huge, right? That's really, really big because then they're not looking at me as some salesperson. And that's why I like to say what I say. What you say and your answer to what is it might be a little different, and that's okay. That's just my answer. The second thing I do is I establish that I work directly with MA Web Centers so that there's no confusion there. Sometimes people get really confused about that. They say, well, okay, if the name of your web center business is New Reality Web Solutions, then who is MA Web Centers? And so I like to be very clear about the fact that I'm partnered with a great company, a great product and service, which allows us to do a better job for our clients. So I like to give analogies and talk in terms that people can understand. And the analogy that I always give is the Toyota dealership analogy. I say to them, look, if I owned a Toyota car dealership, and I sold Toyota cars, right? I don't own Toyota, and Toyota doesn't own me. I own a local car dealership and I sell Toyota cars because I love Toyota cars and I think they're great vehicles and it's a product that I believe in. And that's the product I choose to offer my customers, my consumers, right? Well, as a web center owner, I own a local web development company and I'm partnered with MA Web Centers because it's a great product and a great service, and that is the service and the product and the quality of service that I want to offer my clients, and that's why I'm partnered with them, right? So I'm very very specific. I'm very clear about what I do. And I don't have to. I don't really stutter on that because even though I just stuttered now, I'm just I don't have to think twice about it, right? I'm very clear about that. You need to be very clear about yourself and about your personal brand. Um, Also, you want to know what resources that you have and then have them ready and handy to share. So these are some of the resources that I use, right? This is my business card. It's showing up a little bit more yellow here because I just took a picture with my new iPad mini and uploaded it and it was bad lighting. But anyway, that's actually a white business card, but this is the business card that I share with potential website customers. Or if I'm having dinner out somewhere and the manager is, I'm talking to the manager, or I'm talking to the business owner, this is the card I'm going to give them, right? Now, I do have a Market America on franchise owner business card. I also have a business card that I share with the people that I train at Web Center trainings. And so I have three different business cards, right? It's really important that if you're majoring in web centers and you're branding yourself as a person to go to for referrals, or a person to go to if somebody needs a website or needs a better solution for social media or whatever, it's really important that you have a business card that's devoted just for this. It can't have shop on the back. It can't have Market America on the back. It can't have, you know, that I'm a dance teacher on the back. It needs to be devoted to this is just my web center business, right? In addition, in the back of your web center, you can now download, and you could have always done this, but there's new designs. You can download product brochures that you can share with people. So if people say, hey, can you send me something, or can you leave something with me to tell me a little bit about what you guys do, you can say, sure, not a problem. All you've got to do is log into your web center and go down to or click on website and then on tools or sales aids, and you can go through and you could pick different layouts with information about our web solution, which you can share with your prospects, right? And it allows you to customize these so that you can put your branding on there, right? You could put your own logo or your own name, your own contact information. Now, by the way, all of these brochures have collateral marketing materials. So if you want all of your business cards and your brochures and your CD labels or whatever you want to print to have the same design, you can do that. This is the green swoosh one. They also have a business card with a green swoosh. They also have the red number 1 that available for business cards and available for CD labels that you can print. It's really, really cool. So MA Web Centers actually gives you sales tools to help you brand yourself better in your community, which is really, really cool. One more thing I want to point out about the web center itself is you can have a .com name for your web center. All right. So your web center, my web center is newrealitywebsolutions.com, right? Now, when you buy your web center, it comes with mawebcenters.com / whatever you bought for it. But you can go ahead and buy a domain name from yourself through your web center, or you can go through shop.com and use one of our partner stores like GoDaddy and buy a domain through one of those. You can make that decision for yourself. Now, one of the benefits of having a domain name is when you're branding yourself, you want to send them to your .com name, right? If you're claiming to be a web center owner and you want to take ownership and brand yourself, you better have a website, right? And you have one. Your web center comes with a front end website that you can share with your potential customers. And again, they recently just updated all of the possible designs that you can use. So this is one of the designs that comes with your web center. This is the website, this is the one that I chose for myself. So when people say to me or ask me, hey, do you have your own website? I can say, yeah, it's newrealitywebsolutions.com, and this is where they go. Yes, I realize that this design is similar to about 10,000 other web center owners' websites. I don't care. I don't think I need anything more than this. This web center has everything that I need to share with my customers, that I would want to share with my customers, right on it. So you guys have all the tools that you need built right into the solution. Um, Another benefit of having a .com name is you can have email. So on my business card, you can see here my email's on there, sarah@newrealitywebsolutions.com. And there's my website, newrealitywebsolutions.com. There's my Facebook page. There's my New Reality blog. If you see the phone numbers that I provide my direct line, I provide a fax, and then I provide tech support. Why do I provide tech support? Well, I want to teach my customers how they can use their resources and use the product to its fullest potential. And your customers will only be using their product to the fullest potential if they're actually using tech support and learning how to use all of their tools. Also, a business Facebook page. Again, guys, I'm just sharing with you the things that I have and that I'm using myself. This is my business Facebook, right? This is like a condensed version of my logo. You see, there's my logo, there's my logo. The little colors are what I branded, and the blue W. And then at the top, I made a really cool little cover photo. What I do is I share information on my business Facebook page, and I'm actually going to show you different things that I've shared over the past couple of weeks as we go through this presentation tonight. But you can see right here, the photo here. This is actually not a design that that a customer of mine. Now we always 100% share our own customers. Check out our new customer, our customer DS Interior. Check out their beautiful website design that we just finished, and we meaning our design center. But I also share design center work because I want to share lots and lots of beautiful visual things with my potential customers. So I'll talk more about that later. And then finally, just know that you have a mobile version of MA Web Centers, right? If you go to m.mawebcenters.com, you can sign in with your iPhone or your Android, and you can set appointments with sales support right from your mobile telephone. You can also view a quick overview video, which is shareable as well right on your phone. So it's nice to know the different tools that you have and the different ways that you can brand yourself better. So let's get specific. Let's talk about, oops, excuse me. I am not great with technology, you guys. This is not about technology. This is about finding prospects and setting appointments clearly. Okay, so we're going to talk about referral campaigns. I love referral campaigns. So there's a couple of different ways to do this. Now, one of the things that I highly recommend that you do is run a year-round referral program. All right, and you need to let your customers know about it. The second thing that I'm going to recommend that you do is you run special time-sensitive referral programs. So let's talk about that more specifically. All right. So regular referral programs, or the all year, always available, all year round programs are: number one, you need to you have to actually decide on it, right? You want to decide on what it is, but you have to let your customers know about the program. You have to have some way of letting them know that you have a referral program, whether that be via email or whether that be when they buy a website from you, you let them know, or you follow up with them. You need to remember that people will refer you if they think of you, but they'll think of you more often if they know there's an incentive, right? So the second thing is you have to give an incentive. Now, there's three things that are the three most popular things that people do in referral programs is they give a flat rate fee to thank people for a referral that ended in a sale, or they give a percentage, right? Now, the difference is this. You can say to your customers or your friends and family, look, if you give us a referral for a new website customer and they become a website customer, we'll give you a flat rate fee of $100 to say thank you for the referral. All right. That's what some people do. Now, if you are up and down about your pricing and you're selling websites for $5.99 and some websites for $1,000 and some websites for $17.99, that might not be the best decision for you, because if you sold a website for $5.99 and then you're giving out $100, it's leaving you with a very small profit, right? So you might want to consider doing a percentage and say, I give out 5% or I give out 10%. And this way, the referral fee that you're paying out for that sale is based off of how much profit you made. Personally, I'm very specific about my pricing. I have a very clear idea of how I set and sell what I sell my websites for. So I just give out a flat rate of $100, and I'll show you how I do that in a second, because that's an easy number. It's exciting, and it's not such a high number that people wonder, like, oh my gosh, how much money are you making off these things that you're, throwing away $500 for a referral? You know what I mean? It's a nice solid round number. That's what I personally like to do. But whatever you want to do is what you want to do, and that's your decision to make, because this is your business. Another really great idea is giving out shop.com gift cards, right? So if someone gives you a website lead and it ends in a sale, you might say, if it ends in a sale, I'll give you $100 shop.com gift card. And why is that great? Well, you're also going to get them to spend that money through your web portal, which is great. We want to do that. So I think now that we've been talking about doing that more, I'm going to switch over to, instead of giving out $100 fees, to giving out $100 shop.com gift cards. Now, the third step would be sending out a check or a gift with a thank you note. Very, very important. This is a screenshot of the paperwork that I give or I send out to my customers when they buy a website. Now, when they buy a website and they can download their contract and they sign it and they send it back into sales support, all of that is great. Now, one of the things I like to do is be personal, right? I like to let them know that I'm like their customer manager, if you will, right? So I send out a little overview page that says, don't forget to use tech support. Here's all the things that they can help you with, and here's the phone number to call. And if you have any questions or concerns, just give me a call at this number. By the way, thank you so much for the opportunity to develop an online marketing strategy together. We're committed to providing the highest level of customer service. You know what I mean? So remember, you have so many options for updating and managing your site, which include free access to manage your site on your own, unlimited use of tech support, and of course, paid service. Thank you again from Sarah Rose and Ryan P. Stack. And at the bottom, I inform my customers about a referral program. This is our year-round referral program. We thank you for referrals. If your referral results in a new project for New Reality Web Solutions, we will send you a check for $100. Thank you for your support and trust in our company, right? Really simple. If you send us a referral and it ends in a sale, we give you $100, right? It's really nice. And then they don't have to fill out this form and send it to me. They can pick up the phone or they can send me an email or whatever, but this is the information that I would like from them. Your name, your phone number, the referral company, contact person, email, phone. Do they have an existing website? And is there any other additional information I should know before I contact your referral? Right? This is a great, simple way to run a year-round referral program. Now, the second thing that you can do is you can run a special referral program. Now, I do this in addition to running my year rounds. So choose the special. So, for example, right now it's the holidays, right? It would be time sensitive because the holidays are going to be over in what, like 6 weeks, 7 weeks? Oh my gosh, it's right around the corner. So, you can create a time sensitive special around an event, right? Or around Cyber Monday or around the winter sale or around whatever you want it to be. You can get really cool and really creative with this. And then you need to promote it. So here's an example of what we just did, not actually 2 seconds ago. That just happened to be before I took the screenshot. But this is what I updated on my New Reality Web Solutions business Facebook page. I said, know anybody that could benefit from a better online presence and marketing system? We are running a special holiday referral program. All you got to do is, number one, refer a friend or business to us for a website appointment. If they become a client, we will give you a $150 check to thank you. Isn't that simple, you guys? Right? And this is exciting because right now people are in the mode where they need to figure out how they're going to pay for all of their holiday shopping, right? So I actually got a couple of private messages about this from some of my friends saying, "Is that serious? Are you really doing that?" And I said, "Yeah." And they're like, "Oh my gosh, I know so many people that that could probably set up an appointment that really could use your help. I didn't even think about this before. Thanks for letting me know. And yeah, $150 toward my Christmas shopping is going to be awesome. Thank you." So I got a few messages about that already. I'm really excited. Now, one of the cool things about this is it gives you permission to ask again, right? Now, when I sent out the last one, this year-round program, I do that the sale happens, right? And I also will send out a reminder, I don't know, once a year or once every 6 months, not very often, because I don't want to flood my customers' inboxes asking them for more business. But when you're doing something special like this, where it's time sensitive, it's a reason and an excuse to bring it up again. And all it does is it puts you in their mind, in sight again. Like I said, my friend that messaged me was like, "I totally know a lot of people. I don't know why I haven't thought about that before. And yeah, I could totally use $150 toward my Christmas shopping." Now, I did $150 here because normally what I do is $100. So I wanted to make this look extra special and just give people a little extra incentive. Again, this is what I do, and it's worked for me. And it could work for you if you give it a try. I mean, some different things work for different people, and that's why we're going to go through so many different ideas. The next thing I want to talk to you, I want to switch gears, is leveraging your professional contacts, right? Now, this is a great transition because it's just another form of asking for referrals, right? What you want to do is you want to sit down for coffee, or you can even just schedule a time to chat on the phone. You don't have to be face to face. I personally think, and I recommend that if you can be face to face, that you do it that way. FaceTime is invaluable, right? You can't really. I mean, it's just so great. So if you have to do it via phone, that's fine. Or you can schedule a go-to meeting, or you could schedule a Skype session. That would be even better. Any way that you do it, it needs to be a scheduled time. I don't want people to just send out emails to people and just ask them for things, or ask them to give you contacts, or ask them to just give you referrals. It's really important that you schedule a time where you can talk to each other about what you each do and what you each are looking for, right? So if you give the person a chance to talk about what they do, okay, well, I'm in accounting, and what I work on is I work with small businesses to help them balance their budget and, decrease expenses and increase their revenues. Great, awesome. So when it's my turn to go, I say, I'm looking for small to medium sized businesses that want a simpler way to leverage the internet without having to be a million places at once and without having to pay an arm and a leg for great service. We specialize in helping them have an entire online marketing strategy in one back end office, and their beautifully designed websites as well. We offer all kinds of great service and unlimited support for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Do you know anybody that you could recommend to me? And then you identify how you can help each other, right? So when I heard her tell me about what she does, and she's talking to me about how she's an accountant and she helps businesses decrease their expenses, I'm already thinking of different people I might want to put her in touch with, right? And then when I tell her about what I do, she would be thinking about the same thing for me. The very most important part about leveraging your professional contacts and asking for referrals is doing it together and helping each other out. You absolutely have to understand that this is a two-way streak. This is not you sending out a mass email, or you sending out a mass Facebook message, or you just telling people what you want from them. You have to be in it for each other. It has to go both ways, or I'm telling you, you won't do it. If somebody tells you, "Hey, if you know anybody that's, I'm looking to expand my business and these are the people I'm looking for," you're just not going to be that. I mean, yeah, you're going to think about your friend and you might refer people here and there. But if you know that they're also going to do the same thing for you, you're just going to be more motivated to do it, right? So just remember, keep the other person in mind and their interest in mind just as equally as you would want them to keep your interest in mind. Now we're going to get specific about networking events. Now, these have been really, really big on our fast track. People have been running out of names lists when they run out, because when you're doing a fast track, you just by nature talk to more prospects. And a lot of them have been attending networking events and networking, programs. And what's really cool about this, actually, somebody described it as kind of like business speed dating, right? You just get to meet a lot of people, and when you find the right one, you set up an appointment, you set up a date. It's really, really cool. So we're going to get specific, and we're going to talk about 4 different ones, the 4 most popular and most effective ones that we've found to work for people. The first one being BNI, or Business Networking International, the Chamber of Commerce, or community and town sponsored events, or LinkedIn events. So the first one, BNI, is really unique, and it's really cool because they only allow one person or one business owner for every industry. So what's really, really cool is if you are joining your local BNI group, then you would be the only web development person representing that kind of a service, right? If somebody was in that chapter already as a lawyer for personal injury, then no other personal injury attorneys would be allowed to join that specific local BNI chapter. So there's no competition where you have to, like, outperform other web developers or other web solutions. All it is you get to network with different industry business owners in your area and be the go-to person. So that's really, really cool. So what happens is everybody goes once a week, usually in the morning at about 7 in the morning. It's pretty early, but these groups like to meet for about, I think it's like 30 minutes to an hour at most. But they like to meet early before business hours would normally start, because people that go to these businesses are these business meetings are running their own businesses. So everybody goes around the room, and they have I think it's 2 to 3 minutes to stand up and just tell everybody and remind everybody what they do. And then there's one person every week that gets selected to have a 15-minute presentation, a more in-depth presentation about what they do, where they educate all of the members more specifically about what they specialize in, right? And then everybody at that point thinks about who they know, and they share referrals at the meeting. And what's really cool about BNI is they actually track the results. They actually say, okay, this many referrals were given out. This much business was closed as a result of the referrals. And it's just a really, really great way to build some strong relationships and some strong business relationships with other business owners, and not only do business with each other in the room, but to also just help be a good referral source for each other. It's just a really strong network, and I thought it was really cool. So this is their website. It's bni.com. You can go there and you can actually locate and find a chapter near you and give it a try. I know that they allow you to do one guest appearance where you can show up and see if you like the vibe, if you like the people that are in the room, if you want to join and see what it's all about. The next most popular one would be the Chamber of Commerce, right? I think that this is one of the most popular events that people go to when they think about networking events, because it's a long-standing organization, and it's very well established, right? What's a really cool positive plus to Chamber of Commerce events is there are lots of business owners to meet. So unlike BNI, it doesn't matter if there are other web developers in the room. There's just going to be lots and lots of people that own small to medium sized businesses that go to these events. So, why is that good for you? Well, because you probably don't want to be limited to only meeting one attorney, right? Maybe you want to meet lots of attorneys or lots of restaurant owners or whatever. So there's more possibilities. There's a bigger group to choose from, and there's just a bigger network to go fishing in, right? It's a different goal and a different concept behind than BNI. BNI is about building a strong network of people that refer business to each other. Chamber of Commerce is just flat out networking. Everybody gets to know everybody. Everybody gets to, like, see who wants to do business with who or who can help who out. This is their website, chamberofcommerce.com. And again, you can go ahead, and there's a lot of really cool tools also just for yourself to kind of research and check out, and for ideas for you to run your own web center business as well. But you can also locate some local events going on near you. Then third one I want to talk about is community or town sponsored events, right? So the town that you live on or that you live in may very well have days that are dedicated to doing home shows or doing small business days, right? It's what's really cool about these is you're really just dealing locally. You're gonna these are very specific to a specific area, a geographical area. So if you live, I live in Feeding Hills. So if I live in Feeding Hills, and I know that every year, the first week of September, that Saturday is Small Business Saturday. Everybody that owns a small business can come to the town common and have a booth where we can just like network and do business and let people in the town know that we're there. That's a great opportunity that I don't want to ever miss, right? Because it gets your name out there and it does a lot of stuff for your own personal branding, which we talked about before. It also is a great opportunity for you to get to know other businesses in the area. And it's a great networking opportunity for there, but it's also a great way to get to know the people that live in your town. And that's important because people know people know people know people. So if somebody is just a consumer and maybe they work for some franchise company and they're not a great website prospect, but let's say they go to Small Business Day and they're looking around at different local businesses, and they run across your booth. Now why would that person be just as valuable as another business owner? Well, because everybody's equally as valuable. That person that's an employee for some large franchise that's not going to buy a website for you may be married to somebody that does own a contracting company, or maybe neighbors with somebody that is a manager at a restaurant. They know people and they get into conversations too. So if they know that you are a local option and they hear about someone that needs their services, they might think of you. And so it's really, really important to treat people equally and to use these events as a way to get to know people. So this is an example of the town of Southwick. They do this every single year, and Granby does it as well. A lot of towns do it. But if you go to your town website, a lot of times they have a community event calendar, and you can click on the different days and see what's happening in your town and figure out if there are any small business days, or if there's even is a small business directory. A lot of times it's free to get yourself listed in your town as a local business option. And then finally, I want to talk about LinkedIn events, right? So everybody knows about LinkedIn. It's a popular social networking company website for professional contacts, right? It's the largest, most popular professional social networking website that is out there. There's a lot of them, but LinkedIn is by far the number one performing and successful one. What's really cool about LinkedIn is there's actually an event for real life connections. So there's an entire events directory for you to pursue LinkedIn events that are in your area. So you can simply choose an industry, pick a nearest location, and explore events that appeal to you. So it's really kind of cool because I think it's really unique that this social networking company has taken it to a new level, and they've wanted to add FaceTime. And FaceTime is very valuable. It's great to meet people at LinkedIn, but that really ultimately needs to lead to something, right? It either needs to lead to some sort of appointment being scheduled or some opportunity to meet up. So I love that. And I just wanted to let people know that LinkedIn has that. So that's my LinkedIn page. And if you go to linkedin.com and you sign up and you create a profile, then you can also start searching events that are in your area, or just searching for different people that are looking. The next thing I want to talk about to expand your names list is to spread out your spending, right? Where are you currently doing business, right? Think about all of that. That's one of the things that we asked you to fill out in your names list. But what I want to ask you to do is spread out your spending a little bit where you can. Now, of course, you want to be a loyal consumer, but there are certain things that if you try new things, that's not being disloyal. It's just trying out new things. So try out some new restaurants, try a new salon, ask around for cool new places that you can go shopping, spread out your spending to meet more prospects. You guys, you have, one of the easiest ways to get in a conversation with a business owner is to be a customer first, right? When you talk to a business owner and you're talking to them as a consumer of theirs, they're going to be interested in what you have to say. You're one of their clients. They value you. You do business with them, and you're not just saying that you care about their business, you're demonstrating that you care about their business by doing business with them. And so there's a certain level of trust and there's a certain level of rapport that gets built when you do those kinds of things. So, I just want to encourage you to think, if you're going to go out to eat this week and you go out to the same restaurant all the time, I ask you, just try out a new restaurant or ask your friends for a referral for a good restaurant to try, right? I mean, if you can ask people to give you referrals, you can ask them for referrals too. Next thing I want to talk about is look for who's looking. I love this. This is a really, really quick way to get high quality appointments in your calendar. Look for who is in the market for a website. All right. Look in Craigslist. If you go to Craigslist and you go to your state and your area in your state, you can actually go to the employment section or the looking for section, and you can find and print off a dozen or so ads that business owners place there saying, we're looking for a new web designer, we're looking for a new social media expert, we're looking for this, we're looking for that. And what's really, really nice about that is you're not soliciting them, they're soliciting you and they're telling you what they need. So it's a really, really cool, easy conversation to pick up the phone and say, I saw your ad on Craigslist. I see that you're looking for X, Y, and Z. Listen, is there anything else that you're looking for that you didn't put in the ad? Okay, great. Now, when would be a good time to meet and kind of go through some of our ideas for helping you to come up with solutions for these things that you're talking about? Guys, this is huge. My sister-in-law, she does this all the time, and she's had really great results from it, really great high quality appointments, because she doesn't have to convince anybody of anything. They're already looking and they're already willing to set up an appointment. These things also exist in newspaper ads. But you just got to keep your ears open, right? If you search for people who are posting in these areas with an I need, you will cut down drastically on the time that you spend convincing people that they need something. It's the same thing with Facebook, right? Instead of plastering solicitations or advertisements on people's walls about the business, look for people that are complaining about wanting more money. Look for people that are complaining about having to go to work on Monday. Look for people that are complaining about wishing they could go on vacation more often, or that they didn't have to miss their kids' school play or whatever, and comment there. Because instead of convincing somebody or trying to throw up in somebody's face about what they should do, you're just listening and responding. And that's really, really powerful. So look for people that have a need for these things. What might they actually be looking for? Well, they might be looking for SEO or SEM, or they might be looking for a new website or social media or design or email campaigns or anything. Even if all they're looking for is social media, it's still a good enough reason to reach out, right? Because if all they're looking for is social media, now, yes, I know that we don't just sell social media packages, that we sell an appointment for an entire online marketing strategy. But what usually ends up happening is you say to them, you know what? Yes, we do social media. We've got all kinds of tools built into our solution that make it easier and make it simpler for you. So, when would be a good time to meet to kind of go over our strategy and how we might be able to simplify what you're doing and make this a little bit easier, right? What happens is when they're on the appointment and they see that all of these things that they're doing anyway can be done for less money and better with higher and more quality results and simpler by just logging into one back end office, they are blown away, even though all they thought they needed was social media. So, what I like to tell people is if all they're looking for is social media, we are going to talk about social media. We're also going to talk about the entire online marketing system that we have and how social media fits into that, and how everything works together to make it easier for you. Now, I want my person that is only interested in social media to be prepared to hear about the online marketing strategy, but I'm not going to sell them on all the other stuff. First of all, because we don't sell features and benefits, we sell an appointment. But what I am going to let them know is that social media and all of their questions about social media are going to be answered on this call. But more importantly, we're going to educate them on how we handle social media and how we might be able to make their social media efforts easier and better by using our system. So they're open to the entire system and they know they're going to get the answers that they need, but you know what I mean? So it ends up being very valuable, even though they might only want one of these things and that's all they're listing on Craigslist. They end up finding out that, well, I could really save money and make a lot of money this way. The next thing we're going to switch, I told you we're going to cover a lot of ideas, you guys. I was not kidding. So the next thing we're going to talk about is identifying people with a need in your town. All right. So this is a little bit different. The thing we just talked about was talking about identifying people who are looking. Now we're going to just talk about plain old who has a need. Who in your town has an out of date website? Who in your town has a site that might have been designed by a publication company or a printing company, like a newspaper company or a Yellow Pages company or something like that? Who has a site that was hosted or done by an economy hosting company like GoDaddy, like Webs, like Wix, like all of those, rinky-dink companies that nickel and dime you? And how can our solution offer simplification, a better solution, or how can it benefit that company that's using some of these, or having these issues by setting up an appointment, right? Now, if you didn't see the webinar that compared all of the different solutions that exist, I highly recommend that you take some time to go do that. We did a webinar a few weeks ago called Comparing Apples to Apples. And what we did is we went through 4 different types of website solutions that exist and then specific companies that exist within those. And we talked about, how those solutions stack up against ours. So when I see, a car, a van strolling down my street with a sign, with a sign on it that says that they do plumbing, and I check out and I see that their website was designed or is developed or hosted on GoDaddy, I know that that's a subpar web development or online marketing strategy solution. I know that because I understand how the companies compare. You can understand those comparisons too. You just have to watch that webinar, and I also uploaded the presentation for that. So I won't have any problem calling them up and just say, hey, I noticed your van was, driving by, and I checked out your website. How's it working for you? Do you guys like it? Is it doing what you want it to do? I happen to own a local web development company, and I just had a couple of ideas. I was wondering if you'd be open to meeting with me and going over some ideas for, cutting down on some of your costs and maybe improving the results on your website. What do you say? Now, that's a very direct approach. It is not a cold call because I'm literally asking people to stay within your community so that you can still build rapport. The closer you stay to home, the easier it is to build rapport and to build trust. So that's really, really important. Moving on with identifying prospects in your area. Who in your area has an actual advertising budget, right? Who in your area is sending out ads in Valpak? You guys, Valpak is down here. It's that blue envelope that you get with all of different coupons and ads that come in it. You open it up, and the percentage, the ROI on that is 1%. So I know somebody that did Valpak. It was $1,500 a week, and it's a 1% return rate, not like closing business rate. 1% of people that they send it out to might call you. So do you think I can talk about more effective ways to spend that advertising budget when I see somebody's advertising in Valpak? Absolutely, I can talk about some better ideas. Newspaper ads. Newspaper ads are so overpriced right now for what the return on the investment is. Newspaper ads can run anywhere from $100 a week to $1,000 a week for a different size. But the other thing about newspaper ads is they don't work right away. A lot of times you have to run them for 12 weeks to start seeing a result, to start seeing a return on investment. And even then, a lot of newspapers are read where? On computers, on iPads, on cell phones, right? They're not read in paper anymore. So those printed ads are not seeing the same return that they used to see. Same thing is true for radio ads, TV ads, yellow page ads, flyers, decals, all that stuff. What's most important about noticing who has an advertising budget is this, that they have one and that they see advertisements as an investment in their company, right? They don't look at advertising costs as an expense. They look at it as an investment in their company. They're spending money because they understand that by advertising that they're going to do their business a solid and get more customers. So that's really important. So these are questions that I ask people that are advertising. I ask them, what are they currently doing? Hey, I saw you had a newspaper in the ad. Do you do anything else for advertising? Okay, great. Are you happy with the results that you're getting from these advertisements? Are you advertising online at all? Are you using social media? Are you running email campaigns? And then what I do is I use the results from what they said to set a high quality appointment with a qualified small to medium sized business owner. Notice I didn't ask them what they're spending. I didn't ask them about budget. I didn't ask them about how much they want to spend on a website. I asked them about, the advertising that they're doing and if they're happy with the results. And then I shift the conversation more to online kinds of questions, right? And so by doing that, I'm just simply qualifying them to know that number one, that yeah, they're serious business owners and they understand as a business owner that they need to invest in their company, and I know that they have the money to spend because I know they're spending it, right? Does that they're already spending it somewhere else? I'd rather just set up a quality appointment and show them how they might be able to spend that money wiser, where they can actually spend less money and have a higher quality result for their business. Next, we're going to switch gears to Facebook. Now, we're going to talk about Facebook in two parts. Number one, I'm going to talk to you about how to use MA Web Center's Facebook page, right? What you want to do with MA Web Center's Facebook page is use and share content off of it with your customers or on your own page, right? What do you want to be sharing from there? Well, you want to share designs that were done by the design center, right? It's high quality work, and we're uploading designs that are being done by the design center. And the way that you would share that is just say, check out another great design or another great piece of work by our design center. It's very, very important to do that. On my Facebook page, when I share design work, if the design work that was done is one of my customers, I say, check out one of our customers and the work that the design center did. Because I can say that because it is my customer. Now, if I'm just sharing another design center example that is somebody else's customer, but I'm just trying to highlight the design center, I'll just say, check out this beautiful design done by our design center, right? I'm not claiming they're my customer. I'm just simply showcasing some beautiful work by the design center. Another thing you can share is testimonials from clients. We will upload testimonials from clients that are enjoying working with tech support, or that enjoy working with the design team, or that just called in and said, "Thank you so much. My new website is working great. I'm getting tons of referrals, or I'm making lots of sales." Whatever it is, you can share those testimonials with your potential customers as well. Also, we upload different articles. So we'll share things from, Website Magazine or Success Magazine or Entrepreneur Magazine or Business Weekly or Time Magazine or whatever. And it's all really great information that you can share to help brand yourself and to help establish yourself as an industry professional. In general, you want to share the shareable stuff off of MA Web Center's Facebook page. Here is an example. So this is what MA Web Center's Facebook page looks like. This is their header and their logo. These are some of the designs that were just uploaded in the past couple of days. It's a really, really cool one. It says, here's a yummy design to start your week off. Another great one from the design team, right? 6 people shared it. 29 people liked it. Here's another one. Great job, design team. We love this brilliant idea, or this bright idea. And it's all little light bulbs. You see that? 11 people shared this one. And there's some comments. These are great examples of designs you can share. Last week, we updated our Facebook on MA Web Centers that said, last time the East Coast got hit with a hurricane, many websites hosted by local servers went down. MA Web Centers clients were still up and running. Stay safe and warm, East Coasters. Now, this was before the storm, so we let people know while they were preparing for Hurricane Sandy that when Hurricane Irene hit, a lot of businesses were forced to close their doors, and they were forced to not even have their websites working, because if they were hosting locally, they were without power as well. So not only were their doors closed, but their websites were down. And we were just saying, we got your back. When it comes to your website, we have your back. Stay safe and stay warm. This is a great thing, and I totally shared this on my business website. So the overall for that is share the shareable stuff. not the distributor stuff. On MA Web Center's Facebook page, we'll also upload who completed the most appointments or fast trackers of the week or things like that. That is information meant for just the distributors, for you guys, Web Center owners. That is not stuff that you want to share with your website customers. The number 2 rule is this: you never want to send your potential clients to the MA Web Center's Facebook page. And that is because that is a distributor support Facebook page. That is for you guys. We want to give you shareable content for you to establish yourselves and to share content with your potential customers. But what we don't want to do is have your potential customers, up and down the MA Web Center's page and seeing your profits and seeing all of that stuff, because that's not relevant for them. What you do want to do is you want to send them to your business Facebook page. So this is what mine looks like. And like I showed you before, this was a design center work that was uploaded to MA Web Center's page. I shared it on my page. Up here, I just showcased some of my favorite designs that were done for my customers, and I put them up here. I share all kinds of information. I just uploaded that holiday referral program that we're going to be running, and I use this page as a professional prospecting tool for myself, for my web center business. I don't write about shop on here unless it's relevant. I don't write about motives unless it's relevant. I talk about my web center business here. And I want to end with this. We talked about a ton of ways to add on to your names list. But no matter what you're doing, whether you're talking about your initial names list or whether you're talking about all of these people that you're going to be prospecting using these different techniques, you need to build value by being interested in your client, right? The point is just to get creative and to get to know more people. You need to care about knowing your prospects. This is not cold calling, right? I don't want you to treat your website possibilities like a firing, a firing range and just one by one, just seeing if you hit something, right? You're not going hunting, you're going fishing. It's possibilities cultivating, right? It's turning someone that you don't know into someone that you do know, which is very different than cold calling, you guys. It's not working within your warm market per se, because you're working hard to get to know new people. But the process is about caring about prospects and getting to know people. The best way to network and expand your names list is to show an interest in them and get to know them. So, are you interested or are you interesting? Interesting people, they tell things, they present, they sell, they lecture, they talk about themselves, they direct, they tell you all about their solution, they tell you all about how they're gonna fix everything, and you need to do this, and you need to do that, and you need to listen to me, and you need to do this. You need to set an appointment because I'm gonna show you how to do it better, and what you're doing is terrible, and I'm gonna tell you why, and I'm gonna tell you what you should be doing. That's what interesting people do, right? They make it all about them and what they have to offer. Now, interested people listen. They ask questions. They sell information and appointments, right? They offer information and solutions. They listen. They listen, they listen, they listen. They talk about the prospect. They share information based on what they heard. That's what interested people do. Just a few hours ago, I was sitting in Dunkin' Donuts, which normally I sit in Starbucks, but I was sitting in Dunkin' Donuts having a coffee, and I was working on this presentation, just hanging out. I could have done this presentation by myself in my house. I didn't have anywhere to be, but I chose to do it there. I do that there because I want people to talk to me. I want to get to know new people. That's why I choose to do my work at coffee shops sometimes. So when I was working on this presentation, I also had my new little iPad mini out. And these two guys that clearly just got back from a contracting job were, they were asking me, "What are you doing? What is that funny little thing that you have there?" And it was the iPad. So we talked about that. He goes, "Oh, you must be really technically savvy." I'm like, honestly, I'm not, but I love working with people, and I work with a great team of people and I told them a little bit about what I do, and they were really interested. But what I said was, "What do you guys do?" And I started asking them all kinds of questions about what they do. Turns out each one of them owned a separate contracting business, and they were working together on one project, but they owned two separate small businesses. So I would say out of the 10 minutes we were talking, even though they started the conversation asking me what I had and about what I did, I'd say like 80% of that conversation was me just asking them questions and listening to them and showing an interest in what they do. So eventually I said, it sounds like you guys have a really great business and you've been pretty established. You guys, do you guys do anything online? It was so natural to transition the conversation, right? Because why was it natural? Because I wasn't in sales mode. I was in listening mode. And they were just telling me about all the cool stuff that they do. And it was natural for me to say, well, really, I'd love to be able to tell people about you guys. You guys have a website. Do you guys do anything online yet? And so I set 2 appointments today, building this presentation, drinking a cup of coffee. And I did that by being interested. So I want to just let you guys know, I know we covered a lot of stuff, but it's all comes down to this. Who would you rather talk with? Somebody that's interesting or somebody that's interested in you? And who do you think is more successful with Web Centers or with Market America or with business in general? People that are interesting or people that are interested? You can have all of the answers in the world. You could have all of the solutions in the world. You could know so much more about the person than the person that you're talking to, but unless you can be quiet and listen and build rapport and cultivate and really, really get to know people, that's as far as you're going to get. You're going to constantly be blabbing at people that are constantly going to be putting up a block. So, get your positioning and get your priorities straight by caring about who's at the other end of the table, and spend some time really getting to know people, and you're going to find that you're going to see some really great results, and your names list is going to expand, and you're going to be happy with the quality behind that names list. So I want to leave it at that. I'm going to start answering questions. Just to remind everybody, when I answer questions, I actually do it via the chat function, not verbally. So I'll leave the webinar open, but I'm only going to be typing my responses versus answering them out loud. And anything that I think would be helpful for the group to read, I'll send to everyone. So thanks for joining me again. Reminder, next week we're talking about how to run and conduct and coach a 90-day fast track. So I look forward to seeing you next week.